I guess it's all began, I think, in 2015 or 16, when I was into investment banking. I passed out of BITS Pilani, and then, I worked with one of the top banks in the world on the investment banking front. And I think in 2015 or 16, I happened to go to States and get the business from there to here. That was like around 8 to 9 visits to US and all. So every time I go to US, like two common things from my team would be like, please get us chocolates or else get some whiskey. Would be like, we already have almost 30 to 40 brands in chocolates and all, and we have been eating chocolates for the past 20 plus years. And why is it that these people are asking me time and again to get more and more chocolates? I mean, first one or two times I got them loads of chocolates, but I didn't taste it because I didn't had kind of a craving for chocolates as such. But I think third or fourth time when I happened to eat the chocolate, man, it was completely different. The kind of feel that I had in the mouth, right? That was top quality and top notch. I mean, though I've been eating chocolates for the past 20 plus years, I think starting from a fifth or sixth standard, we have been introduced to all these chocolates in the form of bars and all, but I didn't have that kind of a feel. I mean, these chocolates were completely different, top quality, and very crisp and very strong, and not that sweet as such. Why don't we get those kind of chocolates here in India? So all this was happening when I was there in States itself. And then I used to go to 10 to 12 different kinds of stores over there and buy different kinds of chocolates. And every chocolate would taste very different and very, very good in terms of quality and the kind of offerings they have. My team over here in India, they would ask me to get chocolates from US, but they would not like the chocolates that we had here in India. So, I mean, we coming from a family of businesses, my great grandfather, grandfather, father. So, all of us have been into businesses, and I'm the only one who was into the stock market investment banking side. Then I thought that I'll go back to India and see what's wrong with the chocolate market over here. I got almost 20 to 25 different kinds of chocolates, and I started tasting them, and in comparison to what we had there in the States, it was completely different. That was the first time when I happened to read through the ingredients. Unfortunately, the chocolate was hardly 5 or 6%, man. I mean, the so-called brown color sweet was not a chocolate at all. It was filled with milk solids, milk powders, palm oil, and flavors, synthetic flavors, everything. And unfortunately, that was being sold to us on the name of chocolate for the past 20 years. Within a moment, I started feeling so insulted, man. For all these 20 years, they have been selling chocolates to us, but that was just a brown color, smooth, sweet, okay? But that was not a chocolate at all, and that was kind of a revelation for me. I felt so disgusted that how can these people fool us? Once or twice it's okay, but for 20 years, 5 to 6% of cocoa, but filled with milk powder, palm oil, sugar, and all that was too bad. Then I was having this chat with my father and my brother, and then we were like, we'll have to do something with it. And that is when my wife pitched in, and I took kind of a sabbatical, like for 6 months from my office, and we went around all those major manufacturing chocolate plants in the country. And that was very, very sad to see the state of, the quality of chocolate that they manufacture. I mean, they are huge brands, but the kind of quality chocolate that they offer to, especially the consumers here in India, it's unbelievably adulterated. If you even try to sell this chocolate in some other Western country, they would definitely sue you on day one. I mean, such a bad quality of chocolate, yeah. And then we thought, like, we'll have to do something on our own. And then we were like, I took a sabbatical. We went around all the manufacturing units, and then we decided that no, if we want a top quality chocolate, we'll have to do it ourselves. And then, we happened to do a short visit to Europe, to Belgium, Austria, and all, and to see, how they play around with chocolate and everything. And that is when, we started working on a business plan and set up our contacts in Ghana and Ecuador, from where we started importing the cocoa beans. And then, we do the whole process, which takes around 12 to 15 days of manufacturing the chocolate, starting from fermentation of cocoa beans, roasting of it, which gives a unique aroma or the flavor of the chocolate, right? So fermentation, roasting, and then conching, panning, and everything. Yeah. So it's a whole process of 12 to 15 days. And then we thought that it's something. I mean, we started with very small quantities in the beginning, and then we started offering it to our friends, our relatives, our friends in our neighborhood, and everyone. And then they really started liking it, and then they started asking for orders actually. Like initially, we used to get around 8 to 9 bulk orders, for the functions or marriages or something, and then they started paying for it. And that is when we thought that yes, it's worth it, to spend our time and efforts in this particular venture. And then we started getting huge machineries and set up a plan of chocolate manufacturing, especially the multinational companies, right? All these big companies and big brands have been playing around with us for the past 250 years, starting from East India Company. They have been selling absolutely worst quality products and have been, fooling us. And I guess it's still continuing as part of globalization. They are just pumping in all the worst quality products onto our markets and onto our customers as well. That's been, one point. And secondly is, I guess they have been underestimating the sensibilities of Indians big time, big time. See, I mean, in the last 20 years or so, we as a consumers have grown enormously. That can be our awareness or health conscious, or our purchasing capacity or purchasing power, or be it our taste palettes. They have changed a lot in the 20 years, but they have been still selling the same D-grade quality products to us and everything. I mean, after we started this business, right, once we understood the kind of business they have been doing, see, for an example, you go to a supermarket and buy chocolate bar of say 50 rupees, right? That particular supermarket gonna take away 30% of the commissions from the order value. Okay, so out of 50 rupees, 30 rupees gonna go to the supermarket, and 18% gonna go to taxes in the form of GST, right? And after that, all we have is like approximately 50%. Out of the 50%, we have like 4 to 5 different channels around, starting from the stockists to regional distributors to local distributors, and then it goes to the supermarket and everything. After everything, what's gonna stay back with the actual manufacturer is less than 20%, right? Within that 20%, if he's making margins, the actual worth of the product is way below like 10 rupees. So in 10 rupees, the kind of the quality that one can expect is definitely way poor. So like 4 to 5% of cocoa powder in it, and then they put a lot of sugar, milk powder, and that also very cheap quality of milk powder they use, very very cheap quality of milk powder, and also loads of palm oil, right? So I mean, that's absolutely unhealthy. See, I mean, the kind of ingredients that we use, right? It's absolutely 72% chocolate. Okay, 72% chocolate, and we don't use any vegetable fat or vegetable oils or palm oils. We absolutely use this pure cocoa butter. Right. So if you compare the prices of cocoa butter and palm oil when you buy in wholesale markets in bulk, the cocoa butter would be around 900 rupees per kg, but palm oil would be 90 rupees. And they use absolutely cheap quality products, and they pack it in plastic wrappers, which have been using the same for the past 20 years, and they sell it to you. And one of the only reasons why people, I think, they buy it, because we kind of got conditioned to that kind of a taste for the past 20 years, and all these famous personalities, they come and endorse these brands, right? So unfortunate, but finally, I think the kind of response that we have been getting from our people, from our customers, is absolutely amazing. The kind of people we have currently in India, they're absolutely, in terms of the purchasing power, there's a huge spike in it, and in terms of the taste palettes, or in terms of the kind of health conscious they've become, I'm sure that our markets are absolutely ready for this kind of a product. But one thing was, all of us have been eating chocolates in the form of bars itself, right, for the past 20 years, and all of us have been really bored and tired of consuming the same kind of chocolate being manufactured by the brands which are older than our dad. Then we had to introduce something new and different, and we have seen like 1 or 2 brands having small pieces of hazelnuts and all. Unfortunately, those small pieces of hazelnuts which 1 or 2 premium brands are using, they are the cheapest and very worst quality of hazelnuts that one can get in the market. All these are the foreign brands, and they've been playing around with Indian consumers like anything, and they've been fooling us. And we thought that once you have a certain kind of taste and respect for the consumer, right, then why do you want to use the cheapest quality of hazelnut pieces? And then we came up with 8 different kinds of nuts, starting from almonds, cashews, pistachio, Brazil nuts, hazel, macadamia, pecan nuts, whole nuts, dry roasted, and then we coat them beautifully with this chocolate. Yeah, it took around 5 or 6 months for people to actually feel the real chocolate and the most pure and authentic chocolate. And then they started coming back to us for the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth times, and that is when it all happened. With so much of technology on hand, there's absolutely zero sense to have like 5 to 6 channels in between, or 5 to 6 layers in between, starting from the stockists or regional distributors, local distributors, and everything. At this point in time, I think direct to consumer is absolutely sensible, for the kind of business that we are in. And one of the biggest challenges, if we go through Amazon or Flipkart, or all these physical stores is, if you go and buy a product from one of those stores on your street side, we would absolutely don't know who our customer is. We want to build that connect with our customers, and we want to engage our customers. We want to know who our customers are, and customers also has to know our side of the story, right? So there's no better way to connect with them directly instead of all these 5 to 6 different channels. 2 to 3 of my friends who are also into these ventures and all, they've advised me to go on Amazon or Flipkart and all, but I took a conscious decision, to not go on those platforms at all, because it's absolutely crowded place. See, I mean, the customer experience won't be that great. So for example, I mean, the kind of experience the customers get once they come to our site directly, right? It's absolutely different when you go to a marketplace and just go buy something. And there's no way that you can maintain active connect with the customers, because they won't share the customer information with us. Then there's no point. We want to share our side of the story with the customers. We want to build that connect with the customers, and it's really working out. Yeah, and customers are really loving it. Yeah, so I have like 2 to 3 of my friends who are in these ventures itself, and it's been close to 1.5 to 2 years that they have started their respective ventures, and through them I've got to know about Dukaan. And then one fine day I happened to just log in into Dukaan and created a dummy store. And then the ease with which we could create a store was amazing. One major thing is the kind of technology that you bring on the board, and the ease with which we can do a few things. It's really amazing, and that adds a lots of value to our business. Though there are other players in the market in the names of WordPress or Shopify, I'm absolutely Indian by heart. Anything built in India, that's going to be my first choice and preference. And also in terms of the pace at which everything happened, right? So starting from a call with the salesperson and account managers, be it Shashank or Steven. So the kind of support that we have been getting, it's really nice. The kind of designers that you have are also really nice. Top class, the kind of feel that you can bring onto a website, and also the kind of pages that you can create, and the ease of navigation. The ease with which the customers can check out. In I guess hardly in three steps the customers can check out, right? All these are just like 5 to 6 points, man. But I can just come out with 25 more points for sure. And after that, we thought that My Dukaan would be the app platform for us to handle these kind of volumes, in terms of the sales or orders that we're getting. And that's how we signed up with My Dukaan, man. It's been quite a journey with Dukaan so far. Overall, though we have built a great product, a great brand and business, it was all cause of Dukaan that, we kind of got a huge kind of runway. We guys have built an airplane or a craft or a rocket. It's you who gave us that launch pad to start our business online. Business first, we'll have to understand what goes into a business as such. I've been very close to the business right from my day one, because I've seen my dad, my grandfather. It really runs in our veins, man. It would hardly take, a couple of days for us to just gauge and see what works and what doesn't work. But after that, we'll have to do a bit of research as to any kind of business. You buy it for X, you add value to it, and you sell it for Y, and Z is your profits, right? We'll have to figure out what exactly is X and where it comes from, and what would be the cost for it, and what is Y in terms of your value addition to it, and what is that at the end of the day, right? The kind of profits that you can make. XYZ is the business, right? So if you go into the depth of it, then we will definitely take around 2 to 3 months, to do the operations, to set it up, and then to go live. But in terms of conceptual, I think a week 10 days is more than sufficient for us to just jot down the points and come up with the blueprint of a business. Definitely quality, premiumness, luxury, trust, a kind of oneness, right? So it's our brand. It's made in India and way better than all the MNCs put together. It's all because of a team over here, especially my wife, my brother, and my entire team at Nutkets, who have been contributing immensely for the past 2.5 years to get where we are currently. So it's not just me, it's our whole team.